everyone. Welcome to Office Hours. My name is Ariella Coombs, and I'm one of the career support specialists here at Work Daily. I'm inside Work Daily every single day, working with our clients, working on resumes, interview prep, LinkedIn, all that stuff every single day. So it's nice to be able to get on Office Hours and be able to chat with you guys in real time, which is really fun. And we do this every week for those of you who are new. So thanks for joining us. Let's see who is here with us today. We've got Melissa, Gordon, Natalie, John, Sylvia. Thanks so much for joining me today. So for those of you who are new, who haven't been here before, these are 30-minute sessions. I usually start off with a topic to kind of get things going, and then I will answer any job search or career advice related questions that you have today. Just as a heads up, while I try to get to all of your questions, it's sometimes not possible because we do have a lot going on in the chat, so please keep that in mind. If you definitely want your question answered, guaranteed, you'll have to join us inside our program, and it's great. All of your questions and reviews will get done inside there. If you do want to help your chances, please make sure that you put question in all caps in front of your question, so that way we can see that easier in the chat. Sometimes it gets a little crazy. So, hi everybody, see a lot of people jumping on, excellent. So today I want to talk a little bit about career change, and we've got a lot of career changers in our platform right now, which is very exciting, a whole new chapter, which is great, and I am noticing a few things that, you know, have been challenges for these career changers, and I wanted to kind of focus on a few things that you could be doing differently if you're in the market for a new job or if you're changing careers. I've kind of talked about this or touched on it before, but I feel like it's always good to come back to it and kind of revisit it because it is such a big thing inside of our program. We got a lot of career changers and you know, a lot of successful career changers too. So I just wanted to kind of hit on that today. All right, hi everybody, lots of people in the chat, excellent. So I will get to your questions in a little bit, but I will start off with this, you know, career changer topic. I'm thinking about, you know, what are some things that could be holding you back if you're looking to change careers and you're having a hard time and you're not sure what's wrong. There are a few issues that could be occurring here, so I wanted to kind of go over that today. So obviously it's challenging, not only finding a new job in general sometimes, but it's also if you're changing careers completely, you know, that can be obviously 10 times as challenging sometimes, because if you're not sure how to market yourself or approach your job search, it can, you know, it can be frustrating. So there are a few things that could be holding you back. The first thing I want to kind of touch on is that if you're changing careers, if you're trying to find a new job, you know, just trying to get away from that other job, you know, have you considered the fact that you might not have gotten to the bottom of the problem? So what are you trying to get away from? Right? So is it your actual job, or is it the company that you work for? Is it the environment? Is it toxic, or is it just not the right fit for you? You know, is it your boss? Do you not have a great relationship with your boss? Do you not work well together? You're trying to escape that, but you love your job. You know, it's really important for you to kind of evaluate these things before you take that jump, because if you don't understand exactly why you're trying to change careers, you're going to put yourself in the exact same situation down the line, and you don't want to be doing that, because obviously, you know, you want to find a job that you like and you can feel like you can contribute to and you know, be a valuable member of the team. So it's really important for you to kind of, you know, think about what is really happening here. What is the bottom, you know, what is the problem here that I can't, you know, get past? Is it my job? Is it, you know, I'm no longer interested in the work, or I'm not fascinated by the industry anymore, or is it the environment is not a fit, or is it, you know, the team isn't a fit for you? It's really important to kind of take that moment to really evaluate those things, because, you know, if you are just changing jobs for the sake of changing jobs, thinking that's going to be the solution, and then you get into a new job, but it's, you know, you're in the same type of environment, for example, if that was what was happening, then you're just going to be as miserable and you're going to want to go to the next thing. So it's really important for you to take that time to, you know, think about what is really causing you to, you know, jump ship here. Okay, so take some time to evaluate what is the issue. The second thing that I constantly see is that you're trying to change careers, but you're not really sure what's out there. So, you know, it's going to take, you know, time for you. Maybe you're looking for the same type of job, but you know, you want to change careers, but you don't know any different. You don't know what else is out there. So you're finding opportunities that aren't the greatest fit. You know, you're not really sure what that next move is going to be, and so maybe you end up hopping jobs because you're just trying to figure out what it is that you're looking for. So I really encourage people to take some time and really do some homework, see what else is out there, explore, get online, figure out what companies are in your area, why they interest you, what kinds of jobs are available, explore different types of jobs. Think about what you like about each of those roles and what you don't like. So that way you can really figure out what you're looking for when you're making that move. Because if you don't really know, if you're not sure what's out there, you could probably, find yourself in, a similar situation. I know, people in my life who they want out of their current job or their current career, but they're not sure what they want to do next. They just want to get out. And so they move into a temporary role and then they still don't know what they want. So it's continuing this pattern of, I don't know, I just need to get out. I don't know, I just need to get out. And so it's really important for you to take the time to understand, A, again, what that problem is, what you're trying to get away from, and B, what is out there that, interests you, that, excites you. So, attend career fairs, talk to people, but, at companies that you admire, research online, look at different jobs, go on Indeed and look at the different jobs available and say, okay, which one of these, what jobs am I drawn to? Why? What tasks and projects am I drawn to? And kind of, make a list and see, what it is that you're really looking for and what excites you, because that's really going to help you narrow down the opportunities that will really, make you happy. Okay. All right, so another thing that could be holding you back is that you're not really identifying where you can upskill. So if you're changing careers, you're probably going to be changing, jobs and the type of work that you're doing, the types of projects you're working on. And with that, you're going to have to upskill. You're going to have to learn some new skills. You're going to have to gain some new expertise. And so it's really important for you to kind of do that homework to kind of understand what it is that you're lacking, so that way you can go into a job and understand exactly what you need to be doing in order to catch up, right? So you're going from this job to this job, you need to understand what it is, how can you fill that gap so you can gain those skills, gain that expertise, so you can really thrive in that position. And because you're going to have to figure out what it is that how can you, the people who are already in this industry are already going to have, the skills, they're going to have the expertise. They already have an edge over you. So you need to figure out how you're going to gain those skills, how you're going to gain the expertise if you're going to compete, right? And that's in addition to figuring out what your unique value is. But it's really important for you to understand how can you, quote unquote, catch up to people who are already in that field and already have that expertise in those skill sets. So really important for you to do that. So think about, do you have to go back to school? Not always. In a lot of cases, you don't really need to. Think about certification programs, think about online classes, opportunities for you to gain skills, volunteering. I know for me, I've gained so many skills by volunteering in my community, being a part of groups, doing projects outside of work, and that's really helped me gain a lot of skill sets. And so you think about be creative and figure out what you need to upskill in, and then go out and try to gain those skill sets. That's also going to show employers that you're willing to go and do it. You're willing to go and gain those skill sets. You're willing to go and get that expertise, even though you don't have it right now. So that's going to allow you to stand out on paper for sure. All right. Along with that, if you're changing careers, you need to be thinking about your transferable skills, right? So it doesn't matter what job you're in, there are always skill sets you're going to be learning or gaining or just, excel in that can transfer over into a different job, a different field, different industry. It doesn't matter. So, for example, customer service transfers to so many different jobs, so many different industries, and, it's a big skill set that's very valuable. So you need to be thinking about what are your transferable skill sets: project management, customer service, administrative support. I could go on and on and on, but think about what those skill sets are that will allow you to thrive in the new role that you're going for, and how can you support those with your accomplishments in the past. And just take an inventory of what skill sets you have to offer and how they relate to that particular role, because that's how you're really going to market yourself. That's how you're going to market your potential, right? So maybe you don't have all the industry expertise, but you have so many transferable skill sets that will lend themselves to this type of role and will allow you to thrive in that type of role, it's really important that you showcase those things, right? So, showing that you not only have the skill sets, but supporting them with quantifiable accomplishments, showing them that you do have a depth of experience in these areas, and they can transfer over into this new role, okay? So take an inventory, just go through, think about your past jobs, write down all the skill sets that you've gained over the course of your career, tie accomplishments to them, and say, okay, I figured out the type of job I'm looking for. What skills can I pull from my experience that relate to this job, that tie to this job, that will allow me to succeed in this role? And it's really going to help you market yourself for these new opportunities. And this again goes along with it. If you're not customizing your resume for these opportunities, then it's going to be even harder for you to change careers. And we see this all the time inside of our program. People come in with resumes that are very tailored for the types of jobs that they had beforehand. And obviously that doesn't just transfer over to this. If you're trying to get into a new job, you're trying to get into a new career, it can, it's not as easy to see how that transfers over into this new job. So you have to make it easy for them to say, okay, well, Josh has this great experience and I can see how that's going to add value into this type of role. So that's why it's very important to customize your resume, your skill sets, showcasing those transferable skill sets on that resume, showing those quantifiable accomplishments that support those skill sets, so that way it's easy for the recruiter, for the hiring team to go through and check off the boxes and say, okay, well, Josh has this great experience, these great skill sets, and we can clearly see how he's going to add value to this role, so let's bring him in for an interview. Okay, so if you don't do that, it's going to make it so much harder for them to see that. And when companies are, they get so many applications, so many resumes, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to say, okay, this person clearly can add value here, and we want to bring them in to interview. Okay, so it's really important that you do that. And a lot of people fail to do that. So customize that resume if you're looking to make a move. Okay, and this is probably the biggest thing when it comes to changing careers, is if you're not networking, then it's going to make it extremely challenging. No matter how good your resume is, no matter how much research you've done, you've figured out what you want to do, if you're not networking into opportunities, it's going to make it very, very hard. Okay? You need people to vouch for you. You need people to say, okay, well, Josh has this great experience. He's got some unique value adds, got a great personality. I think he'd be great on the team. Let's just give him a shot. Let's just bring him in for an interview because, I think he could be a great team member. And I think he's got a lot of great stuff to, add here. Whereas on paper, it might not transfer that way, no matter how much you customize your resume. So it's important for you to have those personal connections that will, allow you to move forward in the process, because that face-to-face, that personal connection can really make a difference in terms of whether or not you get an interview, whether or not you get an offer. So if you're changing careers, you really need that person to recommend you, that person to vouch for you and say, let's just give them a chance. I know they've been in this career for so many years and they're making a move, and that's a risk. So having someone to, be there and say, I think we should give them a shot is really, really important. And the final thing that I want to touch on that so many people do struggle with when they are, trying to change careers is salary expectations. You might not have the right salary expectations, whether if you've been in a career for so long and you're just looking to jump and make the same amount of money, it's probably not going to happen, right? You not only have to prove that you're worth the money that you want to be paid, but you have to understand that it's all about supply and demand, and you need to understand what the market rate is for this type of role in that location. If you're giving them a salary that's like way beyond the expectation, you're gonna price yourself out of the opportunity, and it's going to be a waste. And if you don't give them a salary range that's high enough, you're going to undersell yourself. So it's really important that you understand the competitive salary rates, you understand what you're going in for. Some people just say, I want to change careers, and then they don't realize the financial impact, right? So it's important that you do your homework so you understand what you're getting into, because some careers don't pay as much as other careers. So it's important that you do keep this in mind. Okay, and I just kind of want to touch on all this because we are building a brand new course that will be coming to Work It Daily in the next couple months about finding the right job for you. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a whole new course, new resources, new tools to really help you hone in and figure out what job is really going to make you happy and feel like you're contributing. So really excited about that, and you'll definitely have to check it out once that's all live and ready to go. So I hope that was helpful if you're looking to change careers or make a move. Those are some of the roadblocks that we see constantly that people do overcome in our program, which is so exciting to see. But yes, just want to kind of touch on that because I have noticed a lot of career changers lately. So yeah, hope that was helpful. All right, so let's get to questions. Okay, question. All right, is it true that JT is part owner of Flex Jobs? No, she is not. Actually, I don't know where you heard that, but yes, she is just Work It Daily. So, yeah. All right, question 2. Juggling 2 job offers. Have to decide by Friday. Well, that's exciting. Why am I so concerned about turning down the first offer? Should I be? Are big firms used to people backing out? I know I'll burn that bridge, but just having a hard time deciding. I prefer the second job, but it's farther away. It pays a tiny bit more, just hard to decide. All right, so that's obviously challenging, but very exciting at the same time. Obviously, a good problem to have. You have 2 great offers. Yes, you probably burn the bridge at one of those companies, but I think it really comes down to what are your priorities, what are your goals. Think about growth at each of these companies. If the commute doesn't bother you and you really want that second job, you want to take that into consideration. It seems like you're leaning more towards that second opportunity, and if you feel like that's got more of a potential for you, then I would lean towards that. But yes, unfortunately, you will have to decline that offer from the other company. And we do have some great templates. And actually, we have a brand new, well, not a brand new video, but we have a video inside our YouTube channel about how to decline an offer gracefully. So while there might be some uneasy feelings at the end, because obviously, you've both invested time in this process and they really wanted you, you can gracefully decline. And I'm sure we can share that video inside the chats, just how to decline a job offer. And it's like a whole template. But yeah, it's just, thank them for the opportunity essentially. Tell them that you really love their company, love learning about it, but you had to move in a new direction. But, we'd love to keep in touch. But yes, we can definitely share that video inside the chat, how to decline a job offer. Really great video. And, congratulations. Honestly, that's very exciting. And, here's reality. You're job searching. They're interviewing. They know that, there's a chance that you might not accept the job. So, it's a risk. But, that they obviously liked you and they obviously wanted you for the opportunity. So hopefully, in the end, you can end on good terms. All right. So let's see what else we have here. Question, can an employer who rejected your application invite you to apply for a lower level position in the company? Yes, so if maybe you weren't the right fit for that job and they really thought you would be a good fit for this other position that might not require as much experience or different skill sets, and they feel like you're a better fit for that position, absolutely. And if you're willing to accept that offer, if you're willing to kind of take that and get your foot in the door and work your way up the company, then I would definitely explore it, absolutely. But yes, if they feel like, yeah, this probably wasn't the right fit for you, or we had someone else in mind for this role, but we still really liked you and we want you to work here, maybe this role would be a better fit for you at this point, right? So yes, they can absolutely do that. All right. All right. Question, how can I stay positive in the career change process? Yes, so it is challenging when you are, trying to find that next opportunity, and there's so much going on. There's so much to think about, so much to do to prepare, and it can be challenging because job search is it's got its ups and downs like everything else. You can apply to a ton of jobs, be in a high, and just be excited to hear back, and then maybe you just don't hear back, and you're down here. But then you're back up here when you hear from a recruiter or someone in the company. There's plenty of ups and downs, and I think honestly the best thing for you to do is to manage your expectations. So, understand that this is part of the process, right? And you're gonna go through ups and downs. Your career, in the end, you feel like it's supposed to be a steady, like upward incline, but the reality is you've got so many peaks and valleys throughout the course of your career, and as long as you're moving forward, that's all that matters, because it's really that's life. So as long as you can manage those expectations, understand, okay, this is what I'm up against as a career changer. This is what I have to overcome, and I can do that. I can, as long, I can work on my brand. I can focus on my networking. I can control what I can control. And when you have those down days and you're feeling, stuck or unmotivated, or you're just frustrated, think about one thing that you can do today to help you move forward, right? So you're going down here, and again, as long as you're going this way, that's all that matters, right? So think about one thing that you can do when you're having a bad day and say, like, maybe I should reach out to this person and reconnect on LinkedIn, or maybe I should research some other companies and get re-inspired, right? So, again, as long as you're moving forward, then that's really all that matters. But you will be experiencing those ups and downs, and that's normal. It is just part of it, and managing those expectations and trying to find ways to be productive and building those habits whenever you're feeling down and frustrated. Make it a habit to do something good for your career, right? Make a habit to do something that will move your career forward, and I think it's not only going to make you feel more productive, but it's going to help you, again, get past that. I hope that helps, and best of luck. All right. Okay, question. I want to leave my current job. I hate it. I don't know what I want to do, though. So, so if you want to leave your current job, it's not right for you. I think it's important for you to evaluate those things that we talked about earlier. What is the real problem here? Is it the actual job? Is the projects, the tasks? Is it the company? Can you not get behind it? Is it the work environment, the team? What is it that you're trying to get away from? First, identify the problem. Then go out there and explore what else is out there. What excites you? How would you feel? What would make you feel excited to go to work every day? And if you don't know the answer, it's really important for you to go out there and do that research. Figure out what kinds of jobs are out there. Figure out what kinds of companies are out there. Talk with your family and friends. Learn more about what they love about their jobs and their companies. So that way you're really getting perspective to know what is out there. So it's really important that you do that homework and understand what's available. And then, of course, you're going to want to work on your own brand and your skill sets, figure out what your strengths are. But I think the first thing that you need to do at this point, figure out that problem. What are you trying to get away from? And then understand what's out there. The thing I want to tell you, though, is if you're looking to leave your job, I would definitely stick it out, while you're job searching, because you are more attractive as a candidate when you're employed, and because you don't have to make the move. You're going to make the move because you want to be a part of this company. That's what they see. And so, and not only that, you're maintaining income, you're keeping your skills relevant, and job search can take a while. So it's important that if you can stick it out, which I recommend doing, in most situations, I would stay there and focus on your job search while you're there. Well, not at work, but while you're still employed at that organization. Okay, that's really going to help you take that next step. Good luck. All right. All right, so question, how do you tackle having the knowledge, a degree and a degree concentration, but not the on-the-job experience or certification? I guess this would be a how to market yourself question. So if you have, the degree is great, and that definitely helps in a lot of situations, but getting that on-the-job experience is a huge marketing piece. So think about ways, get creative, and figure out what you need to, again, upskill in. What skills do you need to gain? What expertise do you need to gain? And figure out how you can do that, whether it's getting a part-time job, whether it's getting an internship, whether it's volunteering, finding roles that you can do pro bono, that you can either hone or gain skills in. Taking a lower level job, or an entry, or just a lower level job that will allow you to build those fundamental skills you need in order to get to that next step. So thinking about it as a building block as opposed to a life career move, right? So you need to really understand first what's that direction you want to take, what kind of job do you want to pursue. Then you have to figure out what kind of skills you need to gain in order to get there, and then you obviously find a way to do that. So talk with people, understand, like, get some advice, ask them how they gain their skill sets in this type of role, what they would recommend. Do you need to go back to school? You probably don't, but are there any certifications? Are there any classes? Or are there any things that you could be doing while you're trying to gain these skills to make yourself more marketable to employers? So, networking with people who are already in the job that you want and asking for their advice and say, I don't have a ton of on-the-job experience. What would you recommend? What do you think is the most important skill set that I should be developing if I want to pursue a career in this type of opportunity? I think that would be really helpful. Great. All right, question. I was offered a job a month ago and proceeded to do a background check and a drug test report. The manager mentioned it would take 10 days for them to report back to me after they get the results. I sent an email letting them know that the 10th day period passed and if I need to provide any additional information, but never heard back. What could I have done in this case? So I think, you followed up, and the truth is things happen, whether it's timing on, the job seeker side of the table, time goes by, is incredibly slow because you're waiting to hear back and you're just like, what's taking so long? I just need to know. On the employer side of the table, time goes by really fast because it's not just hiring that they're worried about. They have other things in the company that they need to be doing. They have other candidates, and sometimes things like this can take longer. So it could have been something in the background check. I'm not sure, but you followed up. You did the right thing. If I'm not sure how long ago this was, but it might be worth another nudge, depending on the last time you followed up. Give it a week or two and say, hey, just wanted to check in to see if there's anything else I could do, to further my candidacy for this role. I'm, looking forward to talking with you. But at this point, it could be something on that end of the table. Something's taking longer. Something could have happened internally. So, sit tight. Obviously, it's unnerving, but I would just follow up and give them a week or two. Okay. So, yes. Good old background checks and other things. Sometimes it can take longer. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, question. How do you address for short time at your previous employer? So I'm assuming this is, how do you address that you were only at your past employer for a short period of time? So first off, you need to understand, like, as a candidate, so what is it that, why didn't you stay there long term? What was the issue? Then you're going to have to explain, because they're going to say, why did you decide to leave your last job? Or why were you only there for a short period of time? And you're going to have to explain to them, what happened, what you learned from that experience, and how you're growing, as a result. So we call this the experience, learn, grow method when you're answering questions like this. And again, we have a great video to explain. It's called How to Explain Why You Left Your Last Job. It's on our YouTube channel. And essentially, it's just you need to ease their concerns. So if you're only there for a short period of time as an employer, they're going to say, well, why? Did something happen? Was it them? Was it the employer? Maybe they didn't have the skills. Maybe they couldn't succeed. What happened? What was going on there? So you need to be able to, take some ownership and say, well, this is why this happened. As a result, this is what I learned from that experience. It was really powerful. It was a really powerful experience for me, and it made me realize how much I wanted to, be in this type of role, because I feel like my skills and experience lend themselves more to this type of role. But the key is to just not to go into too much detail. You don't want to share all the drama that happened, of course not. But be honest and say, it wasn't a fit. This is what I learned as a result of that, and this is how I've grown, and this is why I'm going to be a better employee because of that experience. And we've got some great examples in that video that you should absolutely check out. But again, it's how to explain why you left your last job. It's on our YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. Great. Awesome. So I can't believe it's already been half an hour, you guys. So many questions, so many great questions today. Awesome. If I didn't get a chance to answer your question, I'm so sorry. I wish I could, but tune in. We don't have office hours next week. We'll be taking a week off, and we'll be back the following week. So get your questions ready for that, or join us inside Work It Daily, and you will guarantee get your questions answered. And of course, anything else that you want to submit, resumes, LinkedIn profiles, cover letters, all that stuff, we do it all inside Work It Daily. So if you have any questions about any of that, definitely check us out. But I hope today's session was helpful, and thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. And I will see you soon. Have a great day, everyone.